I'm locked in with your manager.
All right.
My son f***ed up a lot of shit to me. Come on, guys. Somebody got hurt. You know what I'm saying? I have respect for people that got hurt.
So Rampage Jackson's son, 25 years old, professional MMA fighter.
Seems to get called a bitch a lot.
I'll tell you right now, he's great at MMA fighting, terrible at professional wrestling.
Yes.
One of the worst professional wrestlers I've ever seen. Just, I'd say, went a little too hard.
He sells it.
What's your name? I'm a husband. For real? You know him? You know Roger? How you know Roger? So, that nigga just started streaming. He just started streaming. That's crazy. My son. That nigga was streaming. He was streaming for like 3 days. Not no more. He done.
I saw what happened, but he's like.
Nah, he done.
There's always a comeback.
Nah, that ain't coming back. Nah, he ain't coming back. No, he ain't coming back. It's streaming ain't for everybody.
No, kick is the least strict one.
Huh.
But you can't do nudity and you can't like beat them.
You just gotta keep it.
Raja Jackson almost killed a wrestler in the ring last week, but till now he hasn't been arrested. Instead, all the focus has turned to his father, Rampage Jackson, who is facing most of the criticism. During his live streams, Rampage looks clearly annoyed whenever people mention the Psycho Stu incident.
Hey, I'm Rampage's biggest fan.
What's up with the Raja shit?
Who is Rampage? He's like a
on,
thumb
bro.
wrestler.
This boy
Dude, right?
Come on.
clout by dudes tonight and girls.
Hey, respectfully.
You're right, 100%.
No handshake on that.
All right, respect.
I'm a dad.
I know,
Respectfully.
I know, that's what.
Respectfully.
You're right, 100%.
I'm dealing with this shit.
Rampage
Hey,
is
I'm dealing with
right,
this shit.
100%.
He's a thumb board.
100%, man. Respect, man,
Hey.
bro. That's why I said I apologize for even like, coming up.
You can't make me wrong.
I apologize for even coming up to you that way.
I'm getting a lot of racist threats. Coming up to me, come on. I'm getting a lot of racist threats. Motherfucker talking about
And
killing me and my whole family, nigga. Over something my son did, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm telling you, drop this shit.
He a slider.
Hey, bro, drop it, bro, drop it.
Hey.
Put my number in your book.
No, that. No. I'm just telling you.
Hey, we do some
No,
comedy.
I'm
What
telling
type of interviews you running?
My
tonight?
apologies.
I'm sorry about that.
Hey, my
Move on. Goof ass, man.
On the other hand, popular influencer and pro boxer KSI finally spoke up about the Raja Jackson drama, saying he was confused at first. When he saw the clip, he couldn't tell if it was staged, since wrestling often has extreme moments with weapons or big stunts. But after watching Raja repeatedly punch an unconscious opponent, he realized it wasn't an act. KSI said he heard someone had hit Raja with a can earlier and that an apology was given, but he made it clear that none of that excused Raja for losing control. He called it a terrible look.
What's on the Rampage Jackson situation with Raja Jackson and the wrestler?
The Raja thing. Yeah, that, mad. I couldn't tell if it was real when I first saw it. Because you know how sometimes in wrestling they like to do some stuff hardcore, like whether it's barbed wire or getting hit with things. But yeah, I saw it. He was just getting punched repeatedly while the guy was unconscious. So I was like, "Is this a bit?" And I think I saw clips of beforehand where the guy or one of the guys was saying, "Oh, you gotta get your receipt on this guy because he hit him with a can, or he hit Raja with a can." But then I saw that they apologized, so I was like, I'm very confused. And then come to find out that he just lost control. So yeah, not a good look. Not a good look at all.
Chael Sonnen also weighed in on the incident, explaining that the legal outcome depends on whether Sikosu presents it as part of the show or not. He pointed out that Stu looked genuinely unconscious, but the question is whether Stu will admit it was real or stick to the storyline and say it was scripted. Sonnen added that this leaves Stu in a tough position. If he claims it was staged, it could hurt his credibility and possibly end his career in professional wrestling.
To get into the eye or mind of the DA or a potential juror, you're going to have no ability to do that if you don't understand emotion versus action, right? The action is supposed to look like he's punching him. The action is supposed to look like he turns him in a 180 and slams him down on the back of his head. So then, where you cross that already blurred line, right, which professional wrestling is already the blurred line, where you cross that, is where Jackson actually gets angry. The rest of it, from a physicality and an appearance standpoint, is what you're supposed to do. And sometimes some shots get through. One of the most famous ones that you guys would have seen was Braun Strowman. Brock Lesnar trusted Braun. Braun did a move that was too hard. Brock responded with a real-life punch.
Kyle Sonnen surprised many by claiming Raja Jackson's attack was actually scripted. He argued that Raja entered as part of a wrestling storyline, hitting a double-leg takedown exactly as planned. According to Sonnen, Psycho Stu even went along with the spot, allowing Raja to set him up in the middle of the ring. But Sonnen said the move went wrong, with Stu landing on the back of his head and looking briefly knocked out.
Raja get in the ring as part of a wrestling angle that was scripted and planned. You see Raja come in with his wits about him, waits for the right moment, picks up a double leg, just as it was planned. And he's doing this with Psycho Stu, and Psycho Stu is letting it play perfectly. Raja then turns him around so that when he brings him down, it's right in the center of the ring, which appears to be very clearly what they agreed and had planned to do. Now, the landing is not great. When Raja brings Psycho Stu down, it's not great, and Stu lands in a way and he hits the back of his head, and he looks as though he perhaps lost a level of consciousness right then.
Chael Sonnen also analyzed Raja Jackson's punches, noting that while they looked heavy and unlike normal worked shots, they didn't seem aggressive at first. He explained that Raja seemed to follow a planned sequence in the middle, then threw a punch more like something from an MMA fight. Sonnen said that after that, the plan fell apart, as Raja let his emotions take over and started throwing real punches in anger.
While they were very stiff shots, not what we would call a working shot, it did not appear that Raja had lost his temper. It did not appear that these were being done out of anger, as much as, all right, I'm going to pick you up, I'm going to spin you in a 180, I'm going to bring you down in the middle of the cage, then just like a cage fight, I'm going to land a punch to either side. Whatever's supposed to happen after that. There was a couple of guys there, a referee, another wrestler, perhaps the boys step in. We'll never know. Because at this point, it appears that Raja marked out for his own gimmick and really begins laying some shots in, but those shots are done out of anger.
Big John McCarthy also shared his thoughts on the incident, saying the real sympathy should go to Rampage Jackson, not Raja. He explained that Quinton is just an innocent father stuck in the middle, loving his son, but having to watch him make terrible decisions. Thompson called it heartbreaking to see a parent go through something so serious, especially knowing it's the last thing Quinton would have ever wanted for his child.
But the problem is this. You're looking at it and people are, they're trying to give some type of, forgiveness because it's Quinton. Not because it's Raja, because it's Quinton. It's Quinton Jackson that is the person that you've got to feel sorry for, okay? In the fact that, he's hooked up in this when he's not the one that took part in this. And that's a sad thing because he's a father and he loves his son. And it's sad to see someone go through something of this magnitude when it's the last thing in the world you would have told your son to go through with.
Josh Thompson recalled that Raja Jackson later showed up at the wrestling event, where reports claimed the promoter gave him the green light to get involved. According to what Thompson heard, Raja was told he could pick up the opponent, slam him, and land a shot before others would step in to stop it. But when Raja went through with it, no one intervened. Thompson argued that if this story was true, the promoter should have made sure the wrestlers were better prepared to step in.
Raja shows up at the wrestling match later. The promoter apparently tells him that, hey, you can go ahead and go up in there, pick him up, slam him, go ahead and lay a shot on him, and then someone's going to jump in and break it up. Well, that's what the reports are, and I haven't heard the video or the audio of that. I've heard everything else, people talking about it, but I heard it was okayed by the promoter that he was allowed to go in there, slam him, jump on him, and then hit him. And then when he did that, people would come in and break it up. Well, no one came in to break it up. No. So there's for me, there is that, the fact that like the promoter should have had all these wrestlers better prepared.
Josh Thompson also analyzed AJ Mana's role in the lead up to the attack, noting that Mana was in the background encouraging Raja Jackson. He explained that Mana kept hyping Raja up and telling him to get his receipt for what had happened earlier in the ring. McCarthy clarified that in pro wrestling, a receipt usually means giving back one shot after a cheap hit. But in this case, that kind of encouragement only escalated the situation and pushed Raja even further.
Before this all happens, there's the other wrestler. What's the other wrestler? AJ Mana. This guy is basically in the back telling him, hey, he smashed the can over your head. Go out there and get your receipts. Go out there and, get him back. And then, so he's kind of getting Raja hyped up, kind of getting him to realize, yeah, you know what that means, right? Go out there and get it. You get yours. Now, I know that when we talk about, get your receipts, go out there and get yours, like isn't get it back. Get the shot back that he laid down.
One shot. That's what a receipt is. You got a cheap shot, I'll give you one back. That's what a receipt is in pro wrestling.
Doug Malawaz also argued that AJ Mana played a big role in pushing Raja Jackson into the attack. He believed Raja's outburst came from a mix of his issues with his father and AJ's influence. While Malawaz condemned Raja's actions, he put even more blame on AJ for fueling the situation and using Raja to settle his own problems. He said it was no coincidence, pointing out that AJ often avoided direct confrontations himself, usually losing small backyard scraps, while pushing Raja, the son of a legendary fighter, to do the damage.
I think the culmination between his dad picking on him and all his daddy issues came out and all the shit that AJ gassed up into his head, because let me put it this way. I don't like Raja. I think Raja's a person for what he did. But I think AJ's a bigger person for gassing him up to be in that ring, to leading him to ruin his own life, to hurt somebody that AJ also has a problem with. You can't tell me that's not, I don't believe in coincidence.
He was basically trying to put the blood on someone else's hands.
Exactly, because he's not going to do it himself. The few little backyard fights he got in where he got beat up, and then you got somebody that's a real fighter, trained by somebody that was one of the greatest of all time, and then you had him do your dirty work. He ruined two people's lives.
However, AJ Mana pushed back against the criticism over Raja Jackson's incident, saying his words were being twisted. He explained that all he told Raja was to give a receipt, and that he never encouraged anything beyond that. Mana insisted he couldn't be held responsible for another grown man's choices, and said the false accusations were damaging his life.
Before y'all judge me any further, just please let me explain. Ready? That's a receipt. That's all the I told Raja to do. Now my life is ruined over your lie. I am not responsible for what another grown-ass man decides to do.
Meanwhile, welterweight fighter Matt Brown also reacted to the incident, saying that while he has love and respect for Rampage Jackson, his son still needed to be punished for what happened. He emphasized that the main priority was the victims' recovery, especially since the man was a veteran who might already be dealing with PTSD. Brown added that people should send positive energy and hope for the best, but at the same time, justice had to be served, and Raja Jackson had to face consequences.
Hopefully the guy's all right, man. That's about all you can say at the end of the day, right? Hopefully the guy just heals up and, with some PTSD or being a veteran and everything, man, just hope that the guy turns out okay, man. Send him some positive energy and hope for the best. That's about the most you can say about it. Other than that, getting love and Rampage, but, hopefully justice is done and his son gets what he deserves.
However, Sean Strickland argued that Raja Jackson shouldn't be sent to jail, as that would only make his condition worse. Strickland believed the best option was to send Raja to a rehabilitation center where he could focus on his mental health. Matt Brown, however, disagreed with Strickland's call for rehab, insisting that Rampage Jackson's son deserved punishment. He explained that it would be one thing if both men had been fighting back, but this case was different because the victim was already unconscious and defenseless. Brown added that only Rampage could be expected to ask for leniency since it was his son, but for everyone else, there was no reason to show sympathy for such actions.
I don't agree with Sean on that at all. The dude Like it'd be one thing, you know, if like they got in a fight and he up and, you know, hurt him bad, right? But like the dude was defenseless and then knocked out. Like, and the only guy that should not be saying is Rampage, right? Because it's his son. And he's the one that should be saying, you know, can we just give him some help or something, you know, try to stick up for him. But everybody else, I mean, we have no reason to have any sympathy for that kind of behavior.
On the other hand, MMA Guru went off on Raja Jackson, calling him an animal for slamming Seiko Stu on his head and then throwing punches while Stu was already unconscious. He blasted everyone who just stood by without stopping it, saying Raja looked like he was trying to kill him. Guru praised the pink-haired guy who stepped in and finished by calling Raja a dumb animal who should be locked in a cage because he doesn't belong in society.
Thoughts on Raja doing a classic 13%? I mean, I'm sick of seeing it, raining down shots and unanswered. Dead people, like he's unconscious on the ground, you just slammed him on his head. And now you're throwing 12 unanswered punches over and over again until you're trying to kill him. And the ref and all those bitches in the ring that didn't stomp his out when he was doing that. Bruv, Raja should have got fucked out cold in that ring. No one was doing anything about it but that pink hair guy. Shout out to the pink hair guy for jumping in the ring and trying to stop him. Brother, dumb animal, put him in a cage, straight up. Not a human, not allowed in society. Control yourself, dumb. Bring that sparring partner back, tornado kick him again, dumb animal.
Rampage Jackson didn't take MMA Guru's criticism lightly. In his first live stream after the incident, he called out Guru for making racist remarks. Rampage said Guru was supposed to act like a journalist, but instead showed his true colors. He stressed that in 2025, nobody wants to hear race being dragged into a situation involving his child. While admitting mistakes were made, Rampage insisted they should never be twisted into a race issue.
It's a lot of like ignorant people on the internet. I understand that. You know, it is what it is. Shit don't affect me, don't bother me, but people like MMA Guru, you know what I'm saying, that guy is supposed to be some kind of journalist, and his racism came out. His racism showing. You know what I'm saying? It's 2025, right? You know what I'm saying? People do shit in this world. Some people do shit. It shouldn't get turned into race. Nobody wants to hear a bunch of racist shit about their son, no matter what race they are. He must don't have kids himself.
Rampage Jackson said MMA Guru crossed the line by letting racist language slip into his commentary. Having grown up around that kind of talk, he said he recognized it immediately. While he usually ignores racist comments online, Rampage explained that it's different when someone with a platform uses that kind of language. He added that anyone with an audience has a responsibility to stay professional and unbiased.
What did he say? I don't want to repeat what he said, but he said a whole bunch of. He said he showed his racism, basically what he did. Like, I'm from the South. The stuff he said, only racist people say. A lot of racist people came forward and said stuff and DM me racist shit. It don't bother me because I don't care about racist people. But MMA Guru, he has a platform. Yeah. And he should say neutral because he's giving his opinions on fights and stuff like that. So now people gonna be watching him when black fighters fight. He say, yikes. You know.
MMA Guru also fired back at Rampage Jackson's criticism, questioning why Rampage went live only days after Raja's incident. He pointed out that while Raja could be facing serious legal trouble, Rampage was on stream reading chats, giving opinions and calling people out. Guru said it showed a clear contrast between the seriousness of Raja's situation and the way his father chose to respond publicly.
Just a few days after Raja Jackson had this situation, that's probably the most stressful time in his life, deserved, by the way, the deserved most stressful time of his life, where he's probably sitting at home right now, scared to death that he's going to get decades in prison. During that moment, right now, his father, Rampage Jackson, is dating whores on stream and bowling with them while reading dono messages about the entire situation and giving his thoughts on it and calling people out.
MMA Guru explained that by the time he first saw the clip, it was already going viral. And once he shared it on social media, it exploded with millions of views. He described his reaction bluntly, calling Raja a dumb animal with no self-control. for hitting a man who was already unconscious. Guru stressed that this kind of behavior was far beyond normal human conduct and said Raja should face serious consequences for it.
I woke up that morning, I got sent a video of Rampage Jackson attempting to murder someone, telling me, what do I think about this? Okay? So I go on Twitter, I'm like, what? It's viral everywhere. Rampage Jackson did this. It's not yet. I think it had like 700,000 views when I first retweeted this. This now has 75,000 likes, 11 million views on my quote tweet of it alone. Okay? So it then took off to crazy lengths. I saw that video and people said, what's your thoughts on it? I don't then think, oh, I got to watch and think about what Rampage would think about me saying this. Not for 1 second does that ever cross my mind. Guru, check out this video. What do you think? That's an attempted murderer. I post it, yeah? I say, that's a dumb animal with no impulse control, bro. If he has no impulse control, he's a dumb animal. He saw an unconscious man on the ground. He went to follow up 20 odd shots to trying to kill him. He's not like the rest of us. I would never do that. 99% of humans would never do that. Rampage Jackson would. Put him in a jail, put him in a cage.
Kevin Lee also reacted, saying Rampage Jackson's actions were inexcusable and stressing that as an adult, he had to face the consequences. He acknowledged the claims that Stuart Smith had hit Raja with a bottle earlier, but argued that attacking him hours later while Smith was in character was completely wrong. Lee added that Raja essentially ambushed him, pointing to reports that Smith was knocked out cold and left unconscious for 6 minutes.
That's what I would tell him. I mean, you a grown man, bro. You can't condone that type of behavior, bro. You gotta go lay down for a little bit. We'll get you a good lawyer. You ain't gonna be in there forever, but you gotta go lay down. I get it. He hit you in the head with a bottle beforehand. I get it. He shouldn't have did that. I don't condone that either. But to wait hours until the man was working, which we all understand, he playing a character, and he was in character, and he working, and then you sneak him, because that's what you did. I mean, you snuck him. He wasn't expecting that, and you, bro, they say dude flatlined and was unconscious for 6 minutes afterwards.
That's all for today's video. Do you think Rampage Jackson should have been taken straight to jail? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more updates.